It's Cam with MrTruck.com, where you can find the best accessories for your truck and trailer. We only sell the accessories that we test, that we use every week. That's that 2022 Frontier. We're pulling 6,200 pounds. I have my Honda side-by-side on the back. We just went up the Rockies in the back. Did really well. It grade shifted the way I wanted it to. The 9-speed. And today was trailer day. Today we took the trailer up the mountain. There it is. This might be, we'll do one more video tomorrow. We got off-roading. So we'll get it all in here and tell you the story of the new Frontier. So come watch the video. See how we did in the mountain. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Snow on the road, and it never all melts away at once. So you gotta plow through the snow drifts and bounce. Some places in Greeley, they didn't get the snow even off the road, so I'm 8.5 foot wide with this trailer. And of course, that's bouncing off the snowbanks too. That was exciting. But I'm fine up here in the mountains. Most all the snow's off this road. But I'm going to do some trailer lessons with Isabel when we get a chance. But right now I don't want to scare her. I mean, she can drive a truck fine and she has pulled trailers. But pulling them is different than backing them. So I want to make sure she feels safe about it. We'll go through and do a video on how to back up a trailer. I've done a few of those. Not everybody knows how to do it. And it's changed a lot. There's new technology that's kind of cool. But I don't use it because my opinions and my lessons were formed decades ago, and it's really hard to all of a sudden shift gears. But I understand them. I understand new people, new to trailers, how it makes them feel better, and they learn faster, and it's fine. I'm not against new technology. Just don't try to shove it down my throat. No, we're all figuring life out as we go. Up here on the way to Estes, just went through Loveland. I couldn't believe it. Sam's gas here was 30 cents higher than in Greeley, 20 miles away. Didn't know Sam's did that, but I guess I learned something there too. It's about the cheapest place to buy gas in Missouri, which is one of the cheapest states to buy gas. And I found that to be the Sam's, kind of in the middle of Missouri, off of interstate. Anyway, this Frontier, viewer loaded with a trailer. We're at the maximum because this thing is maxed out for the capacity 6,270 pounds, and we are at 6,200 pounds, and that's my 5,000 pound tilt trailer, and then a 1,200 pound Honda side-by-side Pioneer on the back. So this is the maximum tow capacity of this truck, so this is the way to do it. We're going to go uphill and downhill and see how this 9-speed handles. And it should be an interesting experiment. I've done this, with Andre on the Ike, and we had it like, I don't know what they had. They had a little bit higher number. This one being a 4-wheel drive, I had to call Nissan to get my numbers straight, and that's what it was 6270. So anyway, that's the capacity of this with this 3.8 V6. Got the powers there. You know how all these gas trucks are, they get terrible gas mileage with a trailer, and I wouldn't expect anything different on this truck, but I'll try to show you that on camera what it's getting. We're following the Big Thompson River. I remember the Big Thompson flood about 20 years ago. That was quite something going flying through here. This is a pretty narrow canyon, so that old river got pretty tall right through here. It's one of the best mountain ranges for scenery in the state, I think, of Colorado. I always love driving through here. But anyhow, I got tow haul mode. Right now, before I got to the mountains, we're averaging 12.2. This is rated 22 miles per gallon on a highway, which is good. I mean, there's other trucks that beat it, actually. I think most of the full-size trucks in the gas engine beat most of the mid-size trucks, except for like a diesel. But, that always amazed me, because back when these were mini trucks, when I was like in high school or just thereafter, they got great fuel mileage. And a lot of those were in diesels back when the big fuel shortage started in the 70s. Yeah, it was amazing. I turned 16 and the speed limit for the state went from 70 to 55. Oh, that was disgusting. It was so sad. I'm 16 and I have to drive 55. Well, I can't drive 55. There's a song about that. But anyway, we made it through that. Now, you know, a lot of these western states, the speed limit's 80 on the interstate. Not in Colorado. We're 70. What are we? Yeah, we're 75. So anyway, beautiful up here. Got a lot of good snowstorms. The skiers are really happy. And it's important that we get snow in Colorado because 5 rivers start in our mountains. We've got the Rio Grande, which is the south border of Texas. We've got North and South Platte, and they become one giant river in Nebraska. And we've got the Colorado and the Arkansas. Usually rivers do start in the snowpack off of mountains. So anyway, right now, we're kind of going downhill and uphill. And it's really hard to say. I don't know which gear I'm in, of course. You know, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. They take away our manual transmissions and they don't let us see our gears. Well, Ford and Ram do in a lot of their trucks. But I wish they all did. Maybe it'd make it easier on us to know, what gear we are when that equals what RPM. So now I must be going uphill. So I'm running around 3,000 RPM at about 44 miles an hour. Jumped up to 43. So we have to be going uphill. But anyway, on the way up here, where I live out in the Sand Hills. Sand Hills means a lot of little hills. And I was going up and down and up and down. Of course, I was shifting and shifting and shifting. And, this is how it is. And it's a V6, so it's going to wrap higher. And it's, kept me in the power band, so that's a good thing. But, we're dropping off here, going down to about 3,000 RPM. I'm staying right at speed limit, right at 45. But anyhow, all those hills. So that's the thing too. You have a smaller vehicle, a smaller engine, and you're running higher RPMs. Even with a 9-speed, you're going to shift a few times. And the 9-speed allows you to shift, which is good when you're climbing. And I think it's a little worse going downhill because you don't grade shift as well. But anyhow, that's my theory. But two, out where we live in the Sand Hills, the road I came in on today had some snow off and on, and it was pretty rough. First probably 5 miles of it, and this shook like crazy. It was not a smooth ride. It's a smaller truck, so it doesn't have the room for longer leaf springs, which would help. But yeah, it seems to me, it's how I remember the old Frontier. It was kind of rough riding. So I don't know if that's changed. I don't know for sure if it's worse, but I know it's not better. So I bounced all my way up here, and now we're in the mountains. But this is a pretty smooth highway. This is this is where vacationers go. And so when you got the outside world coming in to give you money, you want to have good roads. Yeah, this particular route is mostly rock. You see a few trees, but it's a lot of rock, which is kind of neat the way it looks. Going here up the Big Thompson Canyon. It's very deceptive in the mountains too. You can't look at the road. It looks like it's going down, but it's actually going up. That's really weird, because that always is up here. So you can't look at your RPMs, and it tells you if you're going up or down. But then I get, I think it's an AT4 Sierra GMC 1500 another week after that. And then I think it's the Ram Rebel, and then I think it's the Ford F-150 King Ranch. It's the one, it's a 2001, because I actually asked for that truck because it has that scale built into the truck. And so I want to explain that in detail. I've done a Zoom video with the Ford engineers and talked about it, but I want to go into detail on that because I think it's a wonderful thing. I don't know if you can get them right now if they're back ordered because of all this chips and pandemic and stuff, but I'm really impressed with how that works. If you got a truck that can weigh its own load, weigh its own ton weight, all that stuff and help you adjust the weight distributing hitch. You're making progress. I love to see all the new trailering things that are coming out on these new trucks. It's incredible. It's nothing like what we had in the 70s, 80s, 90s, first decade or two of the 2000. Can't believe it's 2022. Holy cow! I graduated from high school in 1975. My gosh. Time rolls on. Yeah, we're up there at 3,600 RPM.
Don't go away, Mr. Truck.tv. We'll be right back.
So there's my Gen Y hitch, my adjustable receiver hitch with weight distributing hitch on it. I love it. There is the hitting the brakes. There, when the brakes are off, that's what it looks like on my phone for the Kurt Echo. Then when I hit the brakes, and I can hit them manually with that button, then it goes to like a light color, like that. Which is so cool. There's the Kurt Echo. Plugs right into your truck, and then the trailer plug plugs into it. Okay. Wow. So you think that handles is handy, or?
Handy for coming up, but down.
Going down's too short, huh?
You have, yeah, down. You have to.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. It's good for one way.
Yeah.
Well, my neighbor Juan just noticed on these running boards, or whatever you want to call these, to me they're like stirrups, but if you unbolt the little step, then it works more like a rock rail. That is too cool. You can see the bolts on there. Awesome. Yeah. So there is a purpose. Good job, Juan. You figured these things out.
I try.
Here it, holy cow, we just dropped off a cliff. Oh, no, we're still going. We're here at my neighbor's house, Juan, and he's got his own little off-road track. So we're going to do a little off-roading here. You're getting seasick, Juan.
Well,
I love these cameras, 360 and the front camera, and this of course has reverse camera, but this is good. Okay, you want to just push the wall over, or you think you're just going to go?
well, I want to see what it does compared to.
Wait, when did we compare last over here?
Well, we did the
We did the Bronco.
we did the Bronco.
Holy cow, that's pretty good. I don't know if this has that thing that tells you the angle, but it tried to climb right up there.
Well, yeah, that's about as good as this doing.
Yeah,
because the snow.
Yeah,
is
and it can see the snow. You see it flashing?
Yeah, it's flashing.
It sees that there's snow real close to that bumper. That's what it's telling you.
Yeah.
So the front's still doing okay. It's that back, yeah. And of course, if you lift this, if you're going to do off-roading, that's what you want to do.
But it wants to do.
Yeah. Good thing I took my hitch off the back, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I just unhooked the trailer today.
You could. It did touch up there.
Let's see if
You
I
see
can
the
zoom in on that track. Well, that's how high up it went, and that's pretty cool.
Hey, you can see there.
It's pretty tall.
The front view bumper there was where it touched.
Yeah. Tire was in, and the bumper was touching right there. Cool.
How the electronics starts going off on stuff.
Yeah, that's the front.
Oh,
right?
that's the front. Let
Yeah,
me
that's
see.
the front. Yeah.
Oh, that is the
I
front.
love that. See, but every off-road vehicle or has the off-road package should have a front camera, I think. But It's too cool because that way you tell where the end of the cliff is and they don't drive over it. I wish my ATVs all had that, or my Jeep, and we'd have something. Another thing Juan pointed out is in the door, this has this little indentation. And that is about where your knee goes. For us wide body reporters, it gives you a little more room when your knee goes over toward the door. I like that. Good job, Juan. You keep coming up with all these cool things you can see that I don't even recognize.
Because this one took most of it and made track, and then this little.
Yeah, that's a good idea. See right there, we drug those through the sand a little bit. If we took the steps off, we'd have our little rail there, our rock rail, and then it wouldn't have hung up so much. That's good. That's nice. You just pull those off, unbolt them. See how close we were to the back. I took my hitch off, but no, we did. I kept thinking we were closer on the back, but apparently we weren't.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So they actually did the departure angle might not be so bad on this. I think the approach angle is pretty good.
You remove it, this come out so you can put stuff there more.
Well, that's awesome. That yeah, it gives you a little more room. If you don't need the organizer, you can just take it out and screw it. That's too cool. Must have had a warning label on this, but yeah, that is wow. That's cool. I like that. So you got 3 of them you got to unscrew. Yeah. So I love the storage. I've done that to my trucks too. Is cool. And it's a good place to put the jack. And the speakers over on that side. Too cool. Well, I always learn a lot when I come over and visit my neighbor. Juan, he's on top of his pile. Wow, you hear that? I'm grade shifting. Going downhill pretty sharply, and it ramped right up about 4,000 RPM. I'm going 25 miles an hour, but I did really well. I just come up off of the hill into a drop off, and I grade shifted. That tickles me to death. Still in tow haul mode. So I was glad to see that. That was a really good downshift with tow haul mode. And catching the tail end of that, it grade shifted again. Did really well. So I'm actually liking this 9-speed for grade shifting, because a lot of these 9s and 10s are hard to do it right unless they calibrate everything just perfectly so that it's totally different in tow haul mode, which is what they need to do. The mapping needs different. Everything needs to have a different way of holding the RPMs in tow haul mode. I think that's important for any truck that you tow with. So right there, I'm holding right under 3,000 RPM, going 41 miles an hour downhill. So like I say, you go to the mountains about halfway, and all of a sudden you're going downhill, and you're still in the mountains. It's not like you're climbing a pyramid and you go up and you go down. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. So now here's some pretty good curves. Let's see how it handles this. I really like to see it do some grade shifting. I'm going to brake it myself. Let's see, will that force it up? Yep, there it did. Force it up to about 3,300 RPM. So like I say, some of them will grade shift pretty much on their own. Some of them you need to use that brake a little to initiate the downshift. This is one of those trucks you need to sometimes brake it. So now we're cranking up 40 miles an hour about 4,000 RPM. So this is a little more of a downhill run. Let's see how far I have to go before I'll have to hit the brake to downshift. But that's how some trucks work. We're up there 4,500 RPM or 4,400 RPM. At 46 miles an hour. Just very close to the speed limit. It's holding, it's not anywhere near red line. Let's say 65 or so. So all my trailers have a Tucson tire pressure monitor. It shows 12.7 volts is what it's charging the battery at. And there's the tire pressure, all 4 tires. And then next will go the heat. That's the temperature in all 4 tires.